help us understand what's a typical day for an executive, for a people's leader, for an agency like NASA means. Like, what's a typical day for you like?
So, a typical day for me is full end to end, but it's full of a whole lot of disparate things. And what I mean by that is, I feel it's really important to work at multiple levels. So, it's important for me to have a role with leadership, and I do. And so I'm attending meetings, especially over things that are really big in administration priorities, or actually, we have a team to help address the COVID issues that continue. And I also deal with my own leadership team. And, I stepped into the role and said, it's really important that my leadership team be a highly functional, effective team. And not that we weren't, but that I wanted my own kind of stamp on that to really bring us together even more tightly than we were and really have some shared vision and goals. And then I deal with, various folks throughout my organization and others. So I actually have regular tag ups with other mission support functions like CFO and IT, and also with mission leaders and this field center leadership, so that I can really keep a pulse on the organization. So I have to get up every day and have lots of energy. And I really do love the diversity of the work that I do every day, every week, because it's really important to have the pulse of the organization and understand the many pieces, parts in our agency and how they kind of fit together, particularly as it relates to people issues.
That's fascinating. So, if we rewind a bit, so you are working with it's BCJ or like Bain? Which one were you?
I was with before is Booz Allen Hamilton. Is
Booz
that
Allen,
what you're
yeah.
asking?
So
Yes,
working with Booz Allen. So now, walk us through the process when you jump on the other side, right? Because I think it's always a fascinating story to hear from leaders who said, okay, this is a bureaucratic organization, it takes time, I'm not sure if I'm ready for it, I like whatever, and they said, no, I need to jump in and take the fight right on. And so walk us through your that decision making process that brought you from on the other side when you jumped over.
sure. Happy to. So I really benefited from my time in consulting. It was the first time I had done true consulting, though I would argue that every role that you have that's senior enough has some amount of consulting embedded within it. But it was my first time as an external consultant, and it taught me a lot of things that I needed to know. Things like, how to manage a project with the budget, and how do you scope work? How do you know what talent you need to apply to the work, et cetera, et cetera. I was lucky to have NASA as a client whilst I was a consultant. And so making the switch over was not just jumping to something unknown. It was actually jumping into the fairly well-known. And I think the pivot point for me was I felt that I had learned what I needed to learn as a consultant. And not everybody wants to be a career consultant. I think those who do, it's great. And those who don't, it's also great. For me, it was a step along the way. And I sort of knew that. And I also knew that I was going to be able to use what I had learned inside the agency, not just on the outside. And so every day I appreciate the benefits I got from that. But in the end, I really wanted to really be on the inside. Though, I was treated wonderfully as an external consultant to NASA, there is a level of access that you have and a level of insight that you get when you're inside an organization that you really can't fully have when you're not. And so I was just ready for that. And then, opportunities come up and you seize them when they come. So I wasn't making a big pitch to move in. It was more the opportunity was there. And I looked at it and I had that feeling in my gut. That's the one. And so that's why I moved over.
Fascinating. And so perception, being an outside and an inside, as an insider, how has the perception changed when it comes to? And I think you rightly pointed out you're already working with government agencies, part of Booz Allen. So when you switched over, what are some of the surprises that you have encountered, that good or bad, that you can walk us through?
Um, I think I still had to learn things that I didn't learn because when you're a consultant, you have a client and your client is really needs to be the front facing voice. And so I actually had to come in, and I don't know that it surprised me more that I had to recognize that I needed to develop my voice as a leader on the inside. And that voice was, what do I need to say? Who do I need to say it to? How do I need to listen and understand differently? Because again, when you're in a consulting role, you have a piece of work that you've agreed to do. It's a statement of work, and you are delivering on that statement of work. And so when you are on the inside, you're trying to figure out, yeah, you could call a plan kind of your own statement of work, but there's a lot more surrounding that you have to take into account. Both types of work that you might not have anticipated, and also what it takes to get that work done. Really, it just feels different. So finding my voice and finding my way around as an insider was new, even though I've been there as an external consultant.